morning. Name and surname.
Richard Portis,
Area of expertise.
International Macroeconomics and Finance.
What's your idea of perfect happiness?
Lying on a beach, drinking a nice cold white wine with my wife and our little daughter.
What is a trait you most deplore in yourself?
Procrastination.
Oh. What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Abstinence and I suppose, yes, abstinence and moderation.
What do you most value in your friends?
Dependability, that they are there when you need them.
What is the most important skill to be a good economist?
The ability to bring together formal, mathematical, quantitative, logical analysis with history, institutions, and the like. It's the history that we have underestimated, I'm afraid, in both our teaching and our thinking, but it's something that I've been doing to some extent for a long time.
To some extent, it's a Keynes view.
I don't know whether it's a Keynes view or it's my view.
What would you say to encourage a student to choose economics as a major?
The same reason that I chose economics myself. I started off in mathematics and then some philosophy, and I moved to economics as a graduate student because I wanted to do something useful. I wanted to, I won't say change the world, but actually have an effect on how the world works.
Who is your economist of reference?
That's very difficult. There are too many very good economists. So I wouldn't, for example, of course Keynes is very important, but I wouldn't pick Keynes as my economist of reference. I think that's just too difficult to answer, actually.
What is the paper or book you wish you had written?
I'm afraid I'll have to think about that one too. There are too many papers that I like very much and that have influenced my thinking for me to pick out one. I don't think, to be honest, and maybe this is a déformation professionnelle, I don't think there's any book that has had a particular impact more than, as I say, a number of individual well-focused papers.
What's your country of origin?
I was born in Chicago, grew up in the suburbs of Chicago on the North Shore, and then went to Yale, and then went to Oxford, and effectively I've stayed in England since I went as a graduate student.
What are the three main economic problems of your country or your adopted country?
Of the UK. It is my country. I have a British passport now, but I feel European at least as much as feeling British. And I've spent a lot of the past 30 years with the Center for Economic Policy Research trying to do something European. So I don't focus that much on the British economy, but still, what's our main problem? Youth unemployment. How did we get there? We got there through bad macroeconomic policy. We have good labor market institutions, but bad macroeconomic policy. So if you like, the second problem is that we have had much too harsh a contractionary macroeconomic policy. And the third major problem is that despite some significant depreciation of the currency, of the pound sterling relative to other currencies, we do not seem to be getting any improvement in the current account. And we still are running a current account deficit now over 4%. And that, going forward, that suggests that we're not very competitive in a number of areas.
So which policy would provide a first step to solve this problem?
Well, I think the first step should be a an expansion of public investment, infrastructure investment, investment in schools and hospitals, and this was the first thing that the conservative Liberal Democrat government cut back. They cut it back by 50%. This was a huge mistake, and we now really need to restore that. So that's the first main policy. You asked for three policies? Three policies. I think the second policy is that needs to be dealt with is immigration. We have gone further and further towards a very restrictive immigration policy. This is having clear negative economic effects as well, to my mind, as well as social effects. I'm an immigrant myself. Many of, I think, forget about me, many of the people who have given dynamism to the British economy and to the United States economy and many others are immigrants. That's often what immigrants do. They come to work. They come to improve themselves. And we are very foolishly cutting back for unjustified supposed social pressures. The third policy, I suppose, is education, but we are making, I think, good progress in the UK on improving the public state education system, but we could do a lot more. And I'm afraid, again, the government is going in the wrong direction there, as well as in the way it's dealing with the health service. So these are the two big social expenditure areas, health and education, and of course social welfare expenditures, unemployment and so forth. But these two areas, I think, are being handled very badly, and we need a reversal of course there as well.
What would be a facial expression if Italy exited the euro? What would be a facial expression if Germany accept 3.5 inflation rate? What do you think about projects like quattrogatti.info?
I think this is a terrific initiative, and I congratulate you, and I hope that you will expand your activities and have the kind of impact that you should have. And doing this at this festival, which also has this kind of outreach effect, I think is very important.
Thank you very much.
Well done.